Welcome to WTF is Web3, where we untangle the uncertainties of Web3 technologies. Be sure to check out the show notes for more information, giveaways, and ways to stay in touch. You're also going to want to make sure that you're subscribed to our podcast, our YouTube channel, and our private group so you don't miss out on exclusive content, freebies, and much more. If this episode seems like it was stripped out of a longer conversation, that's because it was. This is what we call a shallow dip, because it's basically the opposite of a deep dive, where we're going to give you a brief explanation of a concept, a term, or a topic that we just felt you would dig without having to listen to an entire episode. However, if you do want to listen to the entire episode, I invite you to check out the show notes, because that will get you to that longer episode and you can hear everything in context of the original conversation. Now that we've got that explanation out of the way, let's jump into the episode.
You mentioned that you're involved in some of them. Can you just go through some of the big projects out there, and maybe for full disclosure, sort of say your level of involvement in them? Because I know you've dove into these pretty deep and even have done some tutorial videos. So let everybody know.
Some of the big ones, and I don't want to go too deep into any of them, but I'll mention some of the big ones that are worth putting on your radar, maybe checking out. One that's very well known is Decentraland. And Decentraland is a pretty interesting project. Again, this is one that is already been around for years. The plots of land already going for thousands of dollars. I think the last time I checked, the cheapest square of land, which it would be the equivalent of, I believe, 30 by 30 meters, but don't quote me on that. I think is going for, it's all priced in Ethereum right now. But I think it would be something around $14,000. So for you to buy the smallest parcel of land, it's over $10,000 right now. And in the market may fluctuate, but from what I've seen, it's only gone up. And then there's larger pieces. It's just like real estate, where your proximity to certain attractions and roads and all sorts of other stuff also has a factor in the value. There are games within Decentraland. A lot of them aren't super advanced. The graphics aren't amazing. But another reason that a lot of people know about Decentraland is they also have their own cryptocurrency. And I think it's a very smart way to not only raise funds, but it seems like it's going to be inevitable that cryptocurrencies are going to play a large part in our future. So, of course, when we're talking about digital virtual currency, why wouldn't we also plan to incorporate that in any metaverse that's going to be coming out? Facebook already has, they've already mentioned years ago that they had intentions to launch their own cryptocurrency. I believe it was going to be a stable coin. Yeah. So I'd imagine that's probably going to play a role in theirs as well. I haven't seen really much on Meta, Facebook's project, but that's another one that is probably the most well-known, because they changed their name, which was a great way to get the word out there. It was their parent company changed their name, correct?
Yeah, so it's the overall overarching company. It's a bit like Google became Alphabet, and
like Alphabet,
products underneath there. So you have Facebook as the platform is still Facebook, Instagram still Instagram, but Meta is just the overall parent company.
Another big one is Sandbox. That one also has a cryptocurrency that's already out that you're able to buy, sell, and trade on a lot of different cryptocurrency exchanges. So that's a way for you to invest if maybe you don't want to, try to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in Decentraland, and you want to spend some money in Sandbox to buy, property there, and but you do want to kind of hedge your bets and kind of get in on all of them. This isn't investment advice, but another alternative is you can invest in the cryptocurrencies associated with these projects. And then there's also ancillary businesses and projects that are going to be needed for cryptocurrency. For metaverses, and we can get into those in another episode if you want, because I know that gets kind of deep. Another one, and I'll probably make this one my last one that I mentioned, is Earth 2. I mentioned it before. That one is very different in that it is a 1-to-1 scale replica of the Earth. So Sandbox and Decentraland don't, at least right now, they don't have that ambition. They have a limited number of tiles that are out, and people are buying, selling, and trading them, but it's not a 1-to-1 scale replica of the entire Earth. Now, Earth 2 isn't out. Like you can go and play in Decentraland. Actually, during the Super Bowl,
Two Earths.
We should have people like try to comment where our little references are, where that came from. If you know what he's referring to, not a direct quote, but a reference, an allusion to,
add it in the comments.
Massive, yeah. Add it to the comments. We'll hook you up with something. But Decentraland, I was there. They had a promotion. Miller Lite had a promotion in Decentraland. Travis Barker's already done a concert in Decentraland.
JP Morgan, we were talking about banks. They set up a beautiful branch in Decentraland.
Atari's there. I got a free T-shirt from Miller Lite for the Super Bowl. They're running a promotion. A virtual T-shirt. Yeah, an NFT wearable for my avatar in Decentraland. It was free, just promotion.
T-shirt.
It was limited production, so it'll be maybe worth something. I don't know, but it was free and it was an engaging experience. They had like a little bar, very basic little features, and you had to run around and complete certain tasks. Or like 17 little things for you to engage in. So you had to like search around the bar and see what you could click on that would interact and play a jukebox and all these little things. And then once you get that done, you get the free T-shirt. Cool.
So that was Decentraland or
that was Decentraland.
Right?
Okay.
That was
Decentraland. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this shallow dip. But if you want more information and more conversation, I invite you to check out the episode notes and our channel, because not only can you listen to the entire conversation from which this clip was stripped, but there's also going to be more episodes that do a deeper dive on this specific topic. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to make sure you don't forget to check out the information and the links in the show notes. Some of that stuff is going to get you into freebies and raffles and contests and all sorts of other promotions, but also we've got a private group dedicated to our listeners and our followers. We would love to see you there, love to see you collaborate, join, and get exclusive content that we are only distributing through these other means. Speaking of distributing through other means, I want to make sure that you're also subscribed to our podcast, our YouTube channel, and again, join that private group so you know everything that we know as soon as we know it.